If you're a landlord in South Wales, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you checked whether your tenancy agreements, tenant screening processes, property advertising, and compliance documents were fully up to date? If your answer is, I'm not sure, you're certainly not alone. Over the past few years, Welsh landlords have faced a constant stream of legislative changes, from Rent Smart Wales requirements and occupation contracts to anti-discrimination rules and increasing compliance obligations. Managing rental property has become far more complex than it was even 5 years ago. And for many landlords, the biggest risk isn't a bad tenant anymore. It's not knowing the constantly changing rent and regulations. Today, we're going to look at why so many landlords are now reconsidering self-management and what you can do to protect your investment. There was a time when being a landlord was relatively straightforward. You found a tenant, collected the rent, arranged repairs that were needed, and carried on with your day. But today's reality looks very different. Landlords are now expected to stay on top of occupation contracts, deposit legislation, right to rent requirements, Rent Smart Wales obligations, the safety certification of the properties, and tenant notice procedures. And that's before we even mention repairs and maintenance, inspections, and rent collection. Take the latest changes introduced in June 2026. Most landlords have heard about blanket bans on tenants receiving benefits, or families with children are now unlawful. But the legislation goes much further than many people actually realize. It doesn't just affect who you choose as a tenant, it actually affects the property advertising, the viewings, application processes, occupation contracts, existing tenancy documentation. For example, landlords with existing contract holders were required to issue updated written statements reflecting the new legal requirements. Miss that step, and you could potentially face financial penalties and complications when serving notices for possession. Now, imagine trying to keep up with changes like this while working full time, managing a family, or living away from your rental property. It's easy to see why many landlords are finding it increasingly difficult to stay on top of everything. One of the biggest misconceptions we hear is, I manage the property myself because it saves me money. But does it really? Let's consider the hidden costs. How much time do you spend answering tenant calls, arranging contractors, chasing rent, keeping up with legislation, and completing property inspections? Most landlords don't calculate the value of their own time. Then there's the financial risk. A missed document, an outdated contract, an incorrectly served notice, a compliance oversight, any one of those issues could cost significantly more than a year's management fees. The reality is that many landlords aren't choosing between management fees and no management fees. They're choosing between professional oversight and professional risk. Good property management isn't just about collecting the rent, it's about protecting your investment. At Bluestone, we monitor legislative changes, conduct regular inspections, manage maintenance, and help ensure landlords remain compliant with evolving Welsh housing law. When regulations change, we adapt. When paperwork needs updating, we handle it. When a tenant has an issue, we deal with it. That means our landlords spend less time worrying about compliance and more time enjoying the benefits of property ownership. For many of our clients, the greatest benefit isn't convenience, it's peace of mind. If you're currently self managing and wondering whether your property remains fully compliant, now is the perfect time to review your arrangements. And that's why we are offering Newport and South Wales landlords a free compliance health check. We'll look at your current setup, identify any potential compliance concerns, and discuss whether there are opportunities to improve efficiency, reduce risk, and protect your investment. There is no obligation, just practical advice from an experienced local lettings team. To arrange your free compliance health check, contact Bluestone Estate and Letting Agents today, or click on the link in the caption below. Or you can call Newport 841805 or email lettings@bluestone-property.co.uk. Because in today's market, protecting your property isn't just about finding the right tenant. It's about staying one step ahead of the legislation.